My dear citizens and residents of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, good evening. I address you on the eve of the most important general elections in our lifetime. And I do so not because these are my last elections as political leader of the ULP, but because of the historic nature of this campaign. The central choice before you is simple as it is profound. Either the re-election of the ULP, which has run a campaign based on its monumental accomplishments for our nation, its vision, policies, and programs for the future, its quality team of candidates, its tried and tested quality leadership, and its deep and enduring love for the people, all the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's one choice. Or the election of the NDP with a lackluster leadership, no vision, no credible policies and programs for our country's development. The choice is clear. Re-elect the ULP to consolidate our work thus far and build upon and extend that work for a better harvest for all. The respective campaigns run by the ULP and the NDP will give indications as to which party is deserving of your support and your vote. The ULP has run a campaign of love and substance, focused on our people's development. We in the ULP have conducted a campaign based first on the phenomenal transformation of our country for the better over the past 15 or so years, despite the awesome challenges arising from the fallout of the worst, absolutely worst global economic meltdown in 100 years and the multiple natural disasters. During our campaign, we laid out the most compelling vision and creative path-breaking policies and programs for the future, as is evident in the most comprehensive and visionary manifesto in the history of politics in the Caribbean. Even the NDP leader has had to resort to the mantra, ask Ralph. The NDP has been unable to match the ULP's vision, policies, plans, and roadmap for our country's development. Indeed, the NDP has been running away from its own unimpressive offerings in its manifesto and has been making things up as they have gone along, scrambling here and there with absolutely no coherence, no bold ideas, no solutions. The NDP's central plank has been the wrong and dangerous idea of austerity, which involves the cutting of salaries and wages, slashing of jobs in the public service, scaling down or dismantling worthwhile programs such as the Yes and Set programs, the low-income housing program, the home help for the elderly program, the program of soft loans to farmers and fisherfolk under the Farmers Support Company, the taking of poor and vulnerable persons off the public assistance list, and the threatened rollback of precious initiatives in education, health, sports, culture, and the environment. The NDP's central plank of austerity and wild cutting that will unbalance the country will do untold harm to the poor and the working people and also to business. The unpopularity of austerity has put the NDP in a frame of desperation, scrambling vainly for focus. It is for this reason that it has conducted and orchestrated the dirtiest and nastiest gutter campaign by a political party in the history of our country. Deliberately, the NDP has opted to run a campaign based on the demeaning irrelevancies of lies, race, and commerce. Not one single job, not one single investor, no single development project can be brought to the table of the people's development through a campaign of fake documents, race, and commerce. To put it bluntly, you may run a campaign on commerce, but you cannot run a country on commerce. Politics and policy are serious matters for serious people. They are not part of the entertainment industry. I further ask this: what does it profit the NDP to attack my 25-year-old daughter or an upright woman and mother named Rashata Nichols, or to denigrate the magnificent Debbie Charles as a nobody, all the while not offering a single female candidate or a single candidate under the age of 40 years? In this campaign, the NDP has lost its way. The ULP's campaign is a campaign of love and substance, hopefulness, and of faith made perfect by deeds. The ULP's campaign is one of understanding and connection with the real issues of relevance and concern to the people. It is a campaign of empowerment of every group, every single group: the poor, the working people, the farmers, the fisher folk, the entrepreneurs and business persons, the young and the elderly, the able and the disabled, women and men, the creative men and women in culture and sports, professionals and all categories of public servants. The ULP has laid out policies and plans for all of these groups. The ULP has a good story to tell, and we have good news to report. When we took office in March 2001, 1 in 4 of us, or some 26,000 persons, lived in dirt poor poverty. Today, less than 3,000 of our citizens live in dirt poor poverty. And by 2020, we will make sure that no man, no woman, no child goes to bed hungry at night. In 2001, public assistance was only $50 per month. It is now $225 per month, and from January 2016, it will go to $250 per month. In 2001, the Rabaka Bridge was a pipe dream as vehicles crossed a treacherous river and riverbed when it rained. There were half the schools. We changed all that promptly. Tax rates were crippling on businesses at 40%. We cut that to 32.5% and will cut it to at least 27% by 2020. Water and electricity in 2001 reached just about 6 out of 10 homes. Today, almost every home has quality water and electricity, and garbage is collected and disposed of in an effective way every single week. Before the ULP government, there was no talk of a jet airport in Canouan. There was no talk of an international airport on St. Vincent. Today, they are realities. In 2001, Otley Hall was a debt-ridden disaster in the hands of a shady, bankrupt Italian. Today, it is a debt-free entity and in productive private hands, creating jobs. In 2001, salaries, wages, and incomes on an average were less than 1/2 of what they are today. In 2015, there are over 8,000 more jobs, more persons at work than in 2001. And over the next 5 years, there will be at least 9,000 new jobs. In 2001, education was in shambles. In 2015, the education revolution is in full swing. No child, no teacher, no parent has been left behind. The health and wellness revolution continues apace, and so too the housing revolution. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has weathered the global economic and natural storms for the better. Much better than most in our region. Economic growth since 2009 in our country, though modest, has been on an average higher than in the member countries of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. The debt to GDP ratio in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the lowest in the currency union, despite our spending on the international airport, our largest capital project ever. On every material indicator, our country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is a much better place in which to live than in 2001 for the overwhelming majority of our people. Fellow Vincentians and residents, we are nearing completion of the largest and most comprehensive infrastructure project ever undertaken in our country. I refer to the Argyle International Airport. This project is all but completed. And a completed airport will mean that farmers and fisherfolk will have easy access to sell their goods to the global market. It will transform our tourism product, bringing thousands more tourists to our shores. Tourists who will spend millions of dollars in our economy in the coming years. More jobs would be created. We are indeed transforming our country, and we have more work to do. We are transforming the country before your very eyes. Already we note that the Buckerman Resort was built in anticipation of the Argyle International Airport. The planned resorts for Mountwin and Peters Hope are imminent realities because of the international airport. So too are other hotel developments elsewhere in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are directly connected to the construction of the international airport. In our comprehensive manifesto, we have outlined a vision for where we would like to take our country. Our vision is rooted in a transformational philosophy that engenders giant leaps, not baby steps, not small steps. It is with this in mind that we offer you a transformational vision that includes the new city at Arnesvale, where the E.T. Joshua Airport currently stands. The second city will be a hub of job-creating commercial activity. It will feature a cruise ship pier and a second hospital with 130 beds. Our great country needs more than one major hospital. Accordingly, we will be opening a modern acute referral hospital at Arnesvale and complete the refurbishing of the existing Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. All this will provide quality secondary and tertiary healthcare service. Our vision for the future also includes the establishment of geothermal energy. Geothermal power is not only good for the environment, but it will also mean cheaper electricity bills for you, your family, and for competitive business. Reducing the burden of the electricity bill will put more money in your pocket, and it will also make it easier for small and medium-sized job-creating enterprises to come on stream by making their operations cheaper and easier to sustain. We will be increasing the low-interest loans made through the Farmers Support Company to aid our agricultural industry. We will be providing thousands more deserving persons with building lots and their deeds. We will be building hundreds of additional low-income houses, and we will be prudently lowering taxes for all our people, while at the same time expanding pay and benefits to the public sector. Our manifesto, the beautiful 2020 vision with labor love, offers the 15 stars, the noble goals and guides for a government that is committed not merely to small incremental steps, but to big goals and sweeping transformations that improve the lives of all our people. The 15 stars are as follows. the further creation of jobs and wealth, the push to zero hunger and the further reduction of poverty, the imminent opening and operation of the Argyle International Airport, the delivery of 12 megawatts of geothermal energy within an overall plan for enhanced utilization of renewable energy, the relocation and modernization of the port to the Bottom Tongue area, and the extension and enlargement of the cruise ship pier at a new location in Arnesville, the further modernization of the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, and the relocation of some of its major departments to and enhance health delivery at an acute referral hospital to be built at a site already selected at Arnesville, the consolidation and deepening of the education and housing revolutions, the startup of the building of a modern city at Arnesville at that site of the E.T. Joshua Airport, consequent upon the commencement of the operations of the Argyle International Airport, the rolling out of the most ambitious program ever of road construction and rehabilitation, including bridges and the building of sea and river defenses, the construction of the National Stadium, the redevelopment and upliftment and rehabilitation of capital city Kingston, the further building of resilience to climate change, the development of significant tourism plans at Mount Wynn, Peters Hope, Canawan, Union Island, Myro, and Beckway, associated services such as the attendance of overseas students at the 4 medical colleges, cruise tourism, yachting, and nature tourism. All of these will be further developed. The facilitation of major developments in agriculture, fisheries, manufacturing, assorted services, including the expansion of information communications technology. The initiation of massive confidence building measures to reduce markedly unwarranted political divisiveness and to aid the process of reconciliation, love, and unity among our people. This is our vision. These are our guiding stars. They are a mix of practical deliverables and forward-thinking goals that will keep our country progressing, moving forward. The Unity Labour Party has transformed our country. I reiterate that. And we have a bold vision for our country's future. We also have the strong leaders we need to turn our vision into reality. Our team features the right mix of experience and wisdom with youth, energy, and fresh ideas. And I'm proud to say that unlike the NDP, we have a history of not only running strong female candidates, but uplifting and empowering women at all levels of government. I am proud to be running this election with Montgomery Daniel by my side. Montgomery is very proud of his Kalinago and Garifuna ancestors, and his advocacy has helped to make the Rabica Bridge a reality. And he helped also to provide hundreds of small loans to farmers through the Farmers Support Company. Sabota Caesar is a true rising star. He's a brilliant young man who not only has a keen analytic mind, but is also someone who can get the job done. He has done so much to uplift the farmers, fisherfolk, and agro-processors in this country. His youthfulness, his ideas, and boundless energy are an incredible asset to the country. Gusta Stevenson, the humble African from South Windward, is a true force of nature. He is strong and resolute, a veteran who has a heart for the people and a passion for service. Camilo Gonsalves is another rising star in our party. He has proven himself on the international stage and now has returned home because of his desire to be of even greater service to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Sesmaki's experience and knowledge of banking, insurance, and government makes it easy for him to work ably with public servants to deliver for the people of this country. Sinclair Jimmy Prince is an esteemed communication specialist, public servant, and poet who brings a new perspective and plenty of energy to government. Luke Brown is one of the most impressive young men I have ever met in my life. He has the passion, energy, and intelligence to represent East Kingstown. He has learned from his 2010 election campaign, and he is now ready to win and ready to govern. Beresford Phillips is a good and decent man with immense practical skills in business and life, and who is running a splendid and honorable campaign against one of the most divisive characters in the NDP. Teacher Debbie in West Kingstown is the epitome of a strong woman. She has endured so much hate and negativism from the NDP that is vexed at seeing a strong, independent woman. Seeing this woman speak in her mind. Jomo Thomas is one of the most thoughtful persons with whom I've ever had the pleasure of working. He's independent-minded, and he's not afraid to speak truth to power and to speak up for his constituency. So Louis Straker is a force unto himself. He's strong and determined and effective. He's a veteran who knows his community is in Central Leeward and who is committed to their upliftment. Young Carlos James is a splendid, fine professional, and he's a fighter. He's determined, and he brings new ideas and energy and a fresh perspective. I'm looking forward to working with him in government. Our comrades, our brothers, our champions for the Grenadines, Herman Belma and Edwin Snag, are independent voices who use their commitment and their passion and their knowledge of the Grenadines to put the Grenadines first. And all of the ULP candidates are possessed of a deep and enduring love for the people. We have transformed the country. I repeat that yet again. We have a vision for the future. I repeat that again. And we have a team of strong leaders with the right mix of youth and energy and new ideas, with experienced personalities, with wisdom and vision. We have offered a positive campaign based on love, and we seek humbly, we ask you humbly to put your X next to the star on election day. Fundamentally, this election is about a bundle of universal values and ideas applied to our Vincentian and Caribbean civilization. The Unity Labour Party is a social democratic party rooted in the idea that all the people have worth, regardless of the race or class into which they were born. Our philosophy rests on the fundamental premise that it is the obligation of the government not to do everything for the people, because the people have to do for themselves too, but central obligation of government is to uplift the people and to ensure that they have the framework to succeed, to facilitate such success, to have our society move forward so that our families and our communities can be improved. It doesn't matter where you were born, where you come from. What is vital is where you are going, and the ULP is taking you in a better and progressive direction. The New Democratic Party disagrees with all these progressive and uplifting ideas. Like the Republican Party, and they're a sister to the Republican Party in the United States of America, they're not a progressive party. They are the party of the old disorder. They believe that so long as people like them are comfortable, all is well with the society. And that is why they do not want to reveal to you their real plans beneath their austerity program. The NDP is stuffed with yesterday's men and day before yesterday's ideas. Eustace's NDP has none of the creativity of the NDP of Sir James Mitchell, against whom the current NDP has been very ungrateful. They have engaged in a veritable war, seasoned with ingratitude against Sir James. Think about what is at stake. The NDP has promised to sell our Vincentian passport and citizenship. This selling of our birthright will do a lot of damage to our country. Well, it will enable countless thousands of strangers who have no connection with us to come to our country, to take our jobs, our lands, our citizenship, and our patrimony. Who knows how many dangerous men and women, including criminals from all over the world, would gain access to our citizenship by just purchasing it, purchasing our passport. This is a dangerous and risky scheme, and we in the ULP have nothing to do with that. But that is the NDP's plan. That is how they want to make quick money and mash up this country, while at the same time engaging in austerity and cuts. I reiterate that the NDP is determined to pursue the wrong and dangerous policy called austerity. In other countries around the region, austerity policies have resulted in thousands of public servants being fired. Thousands more had their pensions and benefits cut. Eustace has mentioned austerity more than once, and it is inside of their manifesto, though they are now trying to run away from it. How many people will the NDP fire? You're listening to me. Would you be one of those? What benefits will the NDP cut? Would they cut your benefits? Ask yourself when you go to the polls, is your job or the job of your friend, your mother, your father, your uncle, or your aunt? Ask, is such a job on the line? You're going to lose it? Are you going to be fired in the name of austerity and balancing the books so that the country would be unbalanced? The ULP has protected jobs even in the face of Hurricane Thomas, other natural disasters like the one in December 2013, and the worst global economic crisis since the Great Depression of 1929. Do not let the NDP take you for a ride. Do not gamble on them. Do not let the NDP give you your walking papers. Vote to protect your jobs. Further, NDP bigwigs and their associates are already threatening persons personally to deal with them after the election, if in the unlikely event they win. Tomorrow morning, election day, wake up early, go to the polling station and put your X next to the star. If you agree that we need to continue the education revolution, put your X next to the star. If you think we should open the Argyle International Airport early in the new year, put your X next to the star. If you want to see cheaper electricity through geothermal power, put your X next to the star. If you want to see a new city at Arnesville, put your X next to the star. If you agree that we need 2 well-equipped major hospitals, one at Milton Keynes and one at Arnesville, put your X next to the star. If you want the 9,000 jobs through the public sector and private sector investments, put your X next to the star. Tomorrow the polls are open at 7 a.m. and polling goes on to 5 p.m. I want you to be at the polling station early, by 5, 6 o'clock. Be there early and vote to protect your government, protect the ULP. Do not wear any ULP clothing or symbols to go to vote. I want you to take your national ID, your voter's ID, your driver's license or passport with you when you go to the polls. If you have any questions about where to vote, you can contact any of our very many persons who would be on the road and at the very offices across the country as to where you should vote. And don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated. Once you're registered to vote and you have your picture identification, you can vote. Pay no attention to foreign lawyers who want to threaten you. Do not pay attention to the NDP with all their propaganda in threatening the young people. You're registered, you can vote, it is lawful. And I ask, honestly, do not take what we have for granted. We have a good thing. We have more work to do. We want you to join us on the road to victory. A parliamentarian in government in your area, in your constituency, is surely preferable to one in opposition. Although the indications that we are winning the elections, you have to go to vote to make that happen. Your community deserves a strong advocate in government that can help to improve your community. That is why you must cast your vote next to the star. I ask of you, I implore you, do not take this election for granted. The NDP is running, has been running, a power-hungry and desperate campaign. Eustace knows that this is his last chance. Eustace and the NDP will do and say anything to get power. We must not let them. Each and every ULP supporter needs to go to the polls tomorrow to ensure that our country keeps moving forward. The education revolution is at stake. The Argyle International Airport is at stake. Jobs are at stake. Our passport and our national identity are at stake. We must rise early, go to the polls, patiently wait in the line, and cast your X next to the star. As you go to sleep tonight, I ask that you reflect on one of my favorite verses in the Old Testament, Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, said the Lord. Reflect, think, and pray tonight. I shall rest easy tonight and ask you to do the same, because I know that through Him, our Heavenly Father, and with Him, goodness shall prevail. Tomorrow is the day of love and progress. Let us show them our labor love. Mark your X next to the star, and together we will keep St. Vincent and the Grenadines moving forward. May Almighty God continue to bless you and your family. Good evening.